guys, welcome to another episode of the Vaugh Show. Today we are going to talk about my life growing up as a kid. This is going to be a very long video. So I want to prepare you all, so make sure you get your popcorn, make sure you get your snacks, because we're going to talk for about an hour. So be prepared. So if you gotta take a break and come back, I totally understand, right? But I have never made like a video for like 1 hour. So I was like, today, I really need to like make a 1 hour video because I've never made a 1 hour video. So I decided to make a sit down video just to chat about my life growing up. So we will have some voice appearances. I'm going to attempt to surprise my mom and my dad and my brother to see if I can get like their natural reactions in regards to like growing up with me as a kid. So we're gonna, go down that journey and see if they answer. I don't know what they're gonna say. They don't even know that I'm going to give them a call, but I was like, today I have not like really sat down and just talk about my life growing up as a kid. Like guys, you know me from the Vaugh Show. Thank you. Which is, my show about me traveling the world and trying new experiences, visiting different places. But I never really talked about my childhood growing up as a kid. I promise, my editor told me not to cry, not to get too deep, and not to be crazy. So I'm gonna try to stay in the parameters of those as best as I can, but I can't make no promises. I just can't make no promises to you guys. So before we begin, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and click the bell. And also too, y'all, we are at 2,300 subscribers, and like we are moving like very quickly. Like I'm just like shocked. Like even like the comments are like boosting. I mean, like our watch hours are like moving like quite crazy. Like I think we'll probably be at like 3,000 subscribers. I don't know, maybe in like a week or two. So I really appreciate you guys believing in my channel, taking the opportunity to watching it, like to comment, to support. And again, if there's a country that you guys think we should definitely embark on or definitely come to, like we'll definitely check that out. The next country we're going to, drum roll please, Kenya! So Kenya is next on our list. So right now we have the Zanzibar series that's going on currently. So make sure you tune into those videos. Like they're a lot of fun, they're amazing. I just posted one of my shorts today, so make sure you guys check that out. And then also make sure you check out our premiere video, which is I Fell in Love with Zanzibar. Like when I tell you my editor, he did a good job with that video. Like I literally watched that video like almost 100 times. Like I was just like, I gave him my vision and I told him exactly what I wanted, and he totally executed the video just the way I wanted it to be. So shout out to him. But anyway guys, make sure you check out our Zanzibar series that's currently going on right now on YouTube on the Vaugh Show. But anyone that lives in Kenya, please reach out to us. You can email us at thevaughnshow.com. Hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I don't give out my WhatsApp, but make sure you hit me up because we're definitely looking for people to kind of like take us around, to show us like, like the areas of Kenya. We're going to Nairobi to show us like the areas of Kenya, like, places to go, things to see, things that normally people don't visit, and you think that's really great for us to see. So definitely check us out. It's an opportunity, business opportunity. We always pay our tour guide, so make sure you guys check us out. Let us know if you live in Nairobi, Kenya. Please hit us up and see if we can work something out with you guys. Also, the photos behind me, I want to post that out. Boom. This gentleman from Nigeria made these 3 photos of me, one of my fans, and I was like really excited when I got the photos. I was like, oh my gosh, like I really love these photos. So I just kind of put them in the background. I'm also going to stick his information in the link below, but he is based out of, if I'm not mistaken, he's based out of Lagos. But I will definitely put all his information in the in the notes below, so you guys can definitely hit him up. But like, he did like an amazing job. Like, I love my photos. I have not even found a place to post them yet, but I'm gonna post them at some point in time once I kind of decorate my apartment. That's another thing on my list, is like, I need to decorate my apartment. I'm gonna get to the video, but I'm just kind of chatting with y'all first because I feel like we haven't caught up in a very long time. But I am going to definitely decorate my apartment. So if you guys have, like, my studio, so if you guys have any ideas on how I need to decorate my apartment, please let me know. Like, I'm always open. Like, I'm not one of those creative persons in regards to like, oh, making your apartment look fancy and cute, but I really need to make my apartment look fancy and cute so I can set up a YouTube studio in my apartment. So I'm kind of like winging it at the moment, but at the end of the day, I will definitely, you know, decorate my apartment, make it look fancy, cute, nice, and to the point. Okay? Alright, so once I got, oh, one more other thing too. Y'all, my birthday coming up. On April 6th, I am going to be 33 years old, and I have no idea of what I'm going to do for my birthday. I have nothing planned. I literally have to work on my birthday, but I have nothing planned. And like, birthdays normally, you know, like, I'm never like really excited for birthdays, but this year I kind of want to do something, but I don't know what I want to do. So if you guys have some ideas of what you should do when you're 33, please let me know so I can look into it and maybe, you know, do something for my birthday, because I have nothing planned, like literally nothing planned. So I'll be 33, April 6th. I'm an Aries. Boop, 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 boop. Shout out to the Aries. We are the first on the zodiac sign. But you know, if you get your Aries, like, you're in for a treat. Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna start the video officially now. But thank you guys again for watching. I just want to kind of talk about my life growing up, like as a kid. So you guys, I'm from a little town called Kingstree, South Carolina. Kingstree, South Carolina. So my parents moved there back in 1991. My dad was in the military, and him and my mom decided to move to South Carolina because at the time my mom wanted to be close to her family, which is also located in a little town called Kingstree, South Carolina. She wanted to be located closer to her family, and it was kind of like a good distance between where my mom's family lived and then where my dad's family lived in Eastman, Georgia, which was like a 4-hour drive. So it was like a happy medium for both parties. So I was born in Ramstein, Germany in 1988, and then from that point we transitioned to South Carolina. So growing up in South Carolina was like, it was pretty good. Like, I didn't have like this weird, crazy childhood, you know, for the most part. I had some life experiences as a child, but for the most part, I had like a very like happy, loving family, you know, childhood to me. You know, when we talk about my mom, my daddy, and my brother, they might say a different story, but I'm gonna give you the good version, okay? I'm not gonna give y'all the bad version, but we'll see what they say. But I had a pretty good childhood. My parents, I was my mom and my dad. We lived in a 2-story house off this street called Designer Street, right? So my mom started her floral shop in 1991. Like, literally, her floral shop was like right beside her house. Like, literally walked out the back door, 15 steps, like you're located in her shop. Like, so she started her floral business back in 1991. So like, she did like weddings, she did like funerals, like birthdays, baby showers, like whatever you needed her to do, she just learned the gift. Like, I've always felt like God gave her like the gifts with her hands to be able to be so creative in a way that she was able to take your vision and just make it come to life. Like, she has this incredible ability to do this, right? So growing up as a kid, my mom would always make me and my brother, you know, help her in the shop. Literally, as a kid, you guys, I hated working in my mom's shop. I literally hated it. Like, it was like, when I tell you, it was like labor, y'all, it was like labor. You never, when you have the experience of wiring a rose with thorns, like, it is like the most traumatizing thing. Like, you're literally like taking a piece of wire, sticking it into the flower and wrapping it around, and you're popping the thorns with your finger as you go down. If one of those thorns get in your finger, you would be like, oh my God, this is so painful. But at the end of the day, like my mom, she could like do it. Like she would like wrap that wire around that rose and like she would pop the thorn and go. And she was like, I need this whole bucket of flowers like wired. And so like imagine like a half a bucket of water that you have to lift and put it into a cooler. And then on top of that, you have to put it into this cooler, and then you have to take another cooler out, another bucket of water with flowers in it out, and wrap those flowers. Like you could do like carnations and like roses, like she had you just manual labor. So I tried everything in my power as a kid to stay away from my mom's shop, because like if you weren't doing that, you were busy sweeping the floor. Like if she had customers, she had you greeting the customers. Like it was the phone, she was like, thank you for calling Final Touch, how can I help you? Like even down to going someone to like deliver flowers. Like she literally have you like working someplace. But what I always appreciated about my mom is her work ethic. Like she would get up like 5:30 in the morning. Every morning, like, well, first of all, she would make sure like I got on the bus for school, right? Like that's the first thing. She would come into my room, she would be like, BJ, wake up. I'm like, no, I gotta go to school. And if you didn't wake up at a certain period of time, she would go get some water and douche it on you, right? So that used to be like the worst experience. So in my mind, I was like, well, let me just get up because I know she's gonna put water on me if I don't get up. So as a kid, I would get up in the morning time. She would make breakfast. My favorite breakfast as a kid, you guys, growing up, was Roger Wood sausage with ketchup in a hot dog bun wrapped in aluminum foil. I don't know what it is about that doggone aluminum foil and that Roger Wood and that hot dog bun. Baby, that used to give me life. And see, what made it even special is when they cut it in half and then wrap it up in the aluminum foil and give you that one napkin, woo, that joint used to be life. And let me tell you something, ain't nothing like a good glass of Kool-Aid. So I don't know if you guys grew up on Kool-Aid, but I grew up on Kool-Aid. Like you give me a good grape Kool-Aid or a good cherry Kool-Aid, ooh, with some ice and a good bit of sugar, that was life for me. So I would have my Roger Wood sausage in the hot dog bun with mustard and ketchup. And then I would have my Kool-Aid, my white cup with my big pieces of ice in my cup with my Kool-Aid. And listen, I would sit at the table and I would chomp that food down. That was life for me before school. But the worst thing I hated when it was cold. Y'all, and if you're from the South, you know this experience. If it is cold outside, what your mama do? She go in the bathroom, she get a jar of Vaseline, and she snap a whole thing of jar of Vaseline, y'all, and just she rub it all over your face. I used to hate Vaseline on my face, y'all. I literally hated Vaseline on my face. Like it was like once they put it on, it's like you couldn't get it off. Like you always doing this, and you was so shiny and bright and hot. Like it's like almost like 30 degrees outside, but your face is just pure hot because your pores are consumed with Vaseline, petroleum jelly. And I used to beg my mama, please, 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 please don't put this on my face. Like, do we got lotion? No, I ain't got no lotion. You gonna put on this Vaseline on your face. Either you gonna do it or I'm gonna do it. So I would have to sit there and just like suffer through it in class. I mean, I'm just hot. I'm just fanning. I could be in class just fanning. And I was like, oh my God, like this is the worst. This is the worst. But anyway, y'all, other than that, y'all, so that was kind of like that was a piece of my childhood, like growing up. So those are kind of like the small things. But before I left every morning, my daddy would come and pray for me because my daddy was he's a very spiritual, he is a very spiritual individual, and my mom is too. So my mom and dad now are preachers, so they have their like own church in Charleston, South Carolina now. So like that's what they do. Like, well, that's what my dad does full time currently, but my mom, she still do the floor shop, and she's also a pastor too. But my dad would always come pray for me in the morning and tell me have a great day. Now between my parents, between my mom and my dad, I'm gonna tell you the breakdown of the two people, right? My mom was the person that always said no. No, 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 right? She was the person like, I don't have time, PJ, I don't feel like being bothered. Like, no, we ain't gonna do this, we ain't gonna do that, blah, blah, blah. So what you did is when mama said no, you just popped over to your daddy. And this is, I learned the strategy to a T. But let me just tell you the breakdown of my parents. So my mom was no, I don't got time, I don't want to be bothered, I got to work, because her focus was her shop. My mom, her thought process was, I'm an entrepreneur, I gotta make my money. My husband wanted these kids, so I gave him these kids. Now he take care of them while I'm go make my coin, right? That was her mindset, like overall as a mom. Like her focus was protect her kids, make her money, love her God, take care of her family as a whole, and that's what she did. But that's how my mom took the characteristics of her father about like the ability of how to take care of a family. Like, I appreciate there were times where it was kind of like, oh, Mom, I just want you to be my mama. But I think as time progressed, like she became more like lovey-dovey, not like necessarily like lovey-dovey, but more like, you know, in tune with us. Like as we got, like as we aged, she became more like tune with us. And like we were young, she was just focused and driven on her career, which I appreciated. But I appreciated it. And even though she was focused and driven on her career, she still made like this quality time for us. So what we did, so let me break it down to my dad, because I'm about to speed ahead. So with my dad, so basically what I did with my dad is that when my mama said no, I would just tiptoe over to my daddy. I'm like, Daddy, this is something I want to do really bad. And mama said no, but I really want to do this. All right, PJ, I'm gonna talk to mama. And he'd be like, I'll talk to Lois, and you know, we'll let you do it. So I'll be like, yes. So then my daddy was more the emotional person. So he's more of like the gentle giant, but don't piss him off, because he like me, he got an anger problem just like me. You make him mad, you'll get the other side. But for the most part, my dad is a very like gentle, loving man. Like he is like emotionally tuned with you. So he'll be like, okay, don't worry, let me go talk to Lois, and then we'll get you what you need. So one small story. So in the 5th grade, right? And I'm gonna go back, but in the 5th grade, I remembered that I went to a school called King Street Elementary School. And I wasn't a popular kid. Like, I was not a popular kid at all. Like, I was one of those, like, little chunky little fat kids. And I had, like, a couple of, like, 1 or 2 friends or whatever. But I ain't really had, like, no friends like that. But I had, like, 1 or 2 friends or whatever. But I wasn't popular. Wasn't popular at all. And for some reason, I always wanted to be, like, a popular kid. Like, I had this mentality of, like, I want to be a popular kid. I want to be this, like, you know, this Joe Smoke kind of kid, or like this kid in the background. I want to be like a popular kid. So I was like, well, what could I do to be like one of the popular kids? Well, maybe not be a popular kid, but be like one of the kids, like I have my own lane, but you know who I am. So then we had this thing called the King Street Elementary Mr. and Mrs. Pageant, right? And so it was like one of those things where like it was like a contest. Like you had to have a talent, you had to have a evening wear, sportswear, and then you had to answer questions, right? So in my mind, I was like, oh, this might be a good fit for me, because I'm able to, you know, potentially win this contest, and I'm in my own lane. Like it was kind of like, there's no way you could not know who I am. I might not have been popular, but guess what? You would see my name pop up all over different places. So I was like, strategically, I was like, this will be a good fit for me. So I was like, you know what? Boom, I'm gonna do it. So at the time, I was like, I don't know if I was 10 or 12 years old, and I played the violin as a kid. So I was like, I'm gonna work on my violin skills, and then, you know, I'm gonna, you know, play the violin as my talent. So I was like, boom, I got my talent. So I went to the little meeting that they had one day about the pageant. It was like me and like 4 other guys or whatever, right? And a bunch of girls. And so I was like, they was telling them what the entry fee was and things like that. I was like, dang, I gotta tell my mama, I gotta get a suit, I gotta get this. Now mama, I was like, I know my mama gonna say no, right? So I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna try to wing it. I'm gonna ask her this one time to see if she say yeah. But what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do what I know I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to my daddy, right? So what I ended up doing was, I remember I got the form, and I was like, you know what, God? I was like, I really need to do this because I want to be popular in my own way. Like, I was like, this is something I want to do. I need to do this. I need to do this. When you're a kid, like, you're just trying to fit in with the crowd, right? And you don't realize, like, as life progresses and like God develops you in his own way, like everyone on the right is a square, but you that old. You know what I mean? Like, and you learn it as you grow and you age. But at the time, I wanted to be a square like the other kids too, not realize I was always a O. Not ho, O, the letter O, okay? So anyway, I remember getting on the bus going home, and I got home and I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna try my mama one time. I'm gonna ask and see what she say. So I remember walking up to I had my book bag. She was like, PJ, how was school? I was like, Mama, school was good, and you know, I had a good time, and I learned this and I learned that. And she like, what you want? Cause you want something. And I was like, oh, no, Mom, no, I want that. You're talking too fast. You're lying, you're talking too fast. So when I started talking too fast, she knew I was lying. She's like, what is it, PJ? Tell me, I got something to do. I was like, well, Mama, listen. I was like, it's this pageant. No, I don't got time. You know I got work in this shop. I got stuff to do. I got this to do. I got that to do. And I'm gonna have to do all this work. No, I don't wanna be bothered. So I expected her to say no. I wasn't expecting her to say yes. I knew she was gonna say no, right? So what I did was, I just went ahead and let my eyes do a little watery. No. Let me tell you what I used to do, y'all. So I would go outside and I would get like one of those like magnolia leaves, like the long one, and I would go to the corner. I would fan my eye like this, y'all. Oh, y'all, I was good at it. I would fan my eye like this until my eyes start watering up. Then I would go to my daddy. Eyes looking a little red, put the little sad face on. So I remember going to my daddy. I was like, Daddy, I just want to fit into school. I want to be a good kid, and I want to experience some things at school too. And Dad, it's this pageant I want to be a part of, and I really feel like I need to be a part of this so I can be somebody at school. And and this is how I get my daddy, right? The Lord told me that this is something I need to do. Boop! That's how you get my daddy. You put the Lord in it, boom, you got him. Hook, sign, seal, and deliver. So my dad would be like, okay, PJ, okay. Let me talk to Lois, and I'm gonna get you to be able to do this now. Now, how much is it gonna cost us? I said, well, see, Daddy, I need a suit, and I need an outfit. But we can go to something and get my suit, and then we can go to Belts, because Belts was like a little store in King Street at the time. It was a store in King Street at the time where, like it was a popular store, you could go get clothes, stuff like that. He was like, all right, okay, cool. And y'all, at this time, my dad was still working in the nail and steel business where they make nails and stuff, like in this little town called Andrews. So we would just, he would go to work, but he would always put everything back on my mama. So what he did was he's like, come on, let's go talk to Lois. So we went over to the shop. Now, knowing me, I'm slick, so I'm gonna stand behind my daddy because I already know my mama gonna jack me up, right? So we go to the shop, and so he's like, Lois, PJ wanna be in this pageant at the school. Now, Lois, I think we should let the boy do it now. It's something he wanna do. Vern, I don't want to be bothered, Vern. I don't want to be bothered because you're not going to be here. And she'll go on her whole rant. You're not going to be here. I'm going to have to do all the work. I'm going to do. And so my dad be like, Lois, please. Oh, Vern, all right, Vern. And then she look at me. You see how you get your way? So, and I would just be like, so then what I would do is that once we got out, I'd be like, yes. So then before all that with me, my mom and my dad signed the form. So my mom and dad had signed the form, right? Went back to school the next day and signed up for the pageant. So a week or two had passed since you had to start getting ready. My mother was all on board. Listen. My mom took me to Sumter. We got this burgundy suit. I think it was a burgundy suit. Yeah, I had a burgundy suit for the evening wear, and then I had a gray suit. Then she got me this like real cool like Nautica shirt. Like back then, y'all, Nautica was a big brand back then. So my mom might pay a little money. She got me a Nautica shirt, these nice short pants and some shoes. Like, I mean, she had me decked out. And then, if I'm not mistaken, it was my brother who was helping me in the back changing or whatever. When the pageant had started, when the pageant finally came, I need someone to help me. So my brother, if I'm not mistaken, had helped me in the back, like with my changing my clothes and stuff like that. But my mom was like totally on board. Because see, I think what had happened was, I think somebody else's kid was in it too. And she was like, well, my son in it too. And the parent was like bragging about their kid. One thing about my mama, she will go to bat for her kids. You hear me? Like in my mom's mind, she might used to give us a hard time. Back in the day, my mom would go to bat for her kids. You hear me? So at that point, she was like, oh, I ain't worried, my kid gonna win. So I can remember her, I remember her saying like, well, you know, PJ, you go out here and you have a good time and you do your thing and like, let's win this pageant, right? And I remember my family was out in the audience. And all I remember, I just got into my zone. I was like, you know what? I got to win this pageant. I got to win this joint. I got to win this joint. And my number was number 4. I was number 4 in this pageant. So we went through the opening act. We did 1999. I think that was Purple. What's the Purple Man? I can't think of his name. Prince. We did Dancing Like It's 1999 as our opening act. So then we had to go to the mic and, you know, give our little input or whatever. Then I did my violin piece. I had my evening wear. But let me tell y'all something. If I had a picture of that suit, y'all, I had this bad suit. So long story short, it was the end of the pageant, right? End of the pageant. They had us all lined up. And I remember they called one guy, and I can't think what his name was, but they called one guy, and I kept looking around like, well, it's just me and another guy, you know? So in my mind at the time, I didn't really understand how the pageant world had worked. So when you're like the last two, that means that you could potentially be the winner or whatever, right? So y'all, I remember I was like, oh gosh, like, you know, I may not win. Like, I was like getting a little nervous. I was like, I may not really win this pageant. And I was like, what am I gonna do if I don't win this pageant? I was like, am I gonna cry or, you know, I was like, I'm gonna hold my little tears together. You know, I'm gonna keep it together if I don't win. But I was just like, you know, y'all, what if I really don't win? You know, and I was like, all my dreams gonna be shattered of what I want to be and what I want to do. You know, I want to be Mr. Popular. You know, I want everyone to know who I was, you know, but in my own zone. So, you know, I was getting a little nervous. So anyway, the judge was like, you know, he was basically, you know, it was like, you know, for the last two guys, please, you know, come forward or whatever, right? So me and the other guy came forward. And I was like, you know, I looked at him and he looked at me and he was like, you know, I guess we were both kind of like, you know, whatever. It was kind of like, you know, let's just see, you know, who wins or whatever. So, you know how in pageants, y'all, they have these like long pauses or whatever. Like very long pauses. Like, my gosh. Like, how long y'all gonna hold a pause? Just tell us who freaking wins, for Christ's sake. So I'll never forget, there was like, all right, and the winner is... And let me tell you, everybody standing up, because it was like, it was a really close call, y'all. Like, it was a very, very close call. So you was kind of like, you know, nervous, and then my mom and dad were like standing up, jumping up and down, you know, like waiting, you know, to hear what they're gonna say. I don't have the picture, y'all gotta find it. I'll post it later. But all I remember is them saying like, Mr. Kingstree Elementary School is number 4, Paul Fowler, and I was like. Who, me? Oh, me? Oh, me? Oh, me? I was like jumping up and down. I kept my cool, but I could see my mom and my family distant like jumping up and down. My mom was like, that's my baby, that's my baby. So you get this like tall award, and then you get this crown, and then you get this like the sash thing or whatever, and this like bouquet thing. So y'all, it was my very, very, very first pageant, and I won. I won. Like that next day, my mom was like just on cloud freaking like 15. Like she was like, oh, my son won. Like she had my trophy in the shop. Everybody came through. She's like, yep, my son, Mr. Kingtree Elementary School, blah, blah, blah. So at that point, like you get to talk like at like little like school functions, and then you're able to, you get like in the parade. So I was like, you know what? This is gonna be my zone while I'm in, you know, growing up in school. So what I did was, every time I went to a new school, I decided to be a part of the pageant. So I went to Kingtree Elementary School, won. I went to Kingtree Senior High School and won. I didn't do it in college, but at that time I was kind of like, I was over it. I was over the whole, you know, trying to be in my own zone. But I literally went through every school. I didn't do it at Anderson Primary, but elementary, junior high, and high school, I won all 3 pageants. I have those trophies at home in my mom's house. But even when I had went to my junior high school and I told my mom I was going to do it, she was like, she didn't give me a hard time about it. She was like, okay, cool. She's like, I feel like this is like your thing. You want to do this, so let's do it. So my junior high school, my mom was like, she was like that key fan. Like she was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna take care of all the you give me the requirements and everything I need to get. You go ahead and handle what you need to handle, like in regards to the talent. So I had to worry about none of that. My mom had like people, like I think, yeah, it was my high school. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm so sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So my junior high, we went on and bought everything. When I told her I was gonna do it at my senior high school, she was like, no problem. My mom went and got me a suit customized. It was a burgundy suit with no collar. Like, and I did this whole like, I am a soldier speech, which was like a popular thing growing up. I remember this guy did it at this other pageant, like at this other school or whatever. I was like, oh, you know what? I want to do this speech too. So I ended up doing this speech for my high school pageant or whatever, and I ended up winning. Like I won, and I don't think I had like one other person ran against me, I think, or something, or maybe I was the only person. I can't remember. Maybe one other person. But actually, I was the first person ever to run for Mr. Kingtree Senior High School in the history of the school being open. So that was like awesome. Sorry, I need some water, y'all. Make sure you guys hydrate. So that was awesome. Like, cause one thing about me, if I can make history, baby, I'm trying to make history. I'm trying to put my stuff in the books. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to leave my footprints on this earth. Some shape, form, or fashion. I guess I'm also doing it through my YouTube channel. So I'm always trying to inspire people to be great. Sorry, y'all. To be great and do great things and to leave their footprints to help and support other people. So my mom was definitely on board. Like definitely on board. Like she was like so dope. So going back into time, and I'm gonna call my parents, y'all, because I was like, let me see what my parents say. So going back into time, my parents and I were, well, growing up as a kid, my parents were Pentecostals, but non-denominational, if that makes sense. Like, we went to a church called Christ Gospel Church growing up as a kid. So I had my church friends too, or whatever. And I only really saw them on Sundays, and sometimes like we went to church like on Friday nights or whatever. One thing I would tell you about my parents, they were definitely committed to taking us to church on Sundays. One thing you had to do is get your butt up on Sundays and go to church. It was a non-negotiable. Even if you were sick, my mom and dad would put a sheet down and you lay on the floor and you sleep on the floor if you sick, but you still had to go to church. So church was a core foundation of me and my brother and my nephew's life growing up. So I had my church friends or whatever. So I saw them on Sundays or whatever, and we would hang out. And I would go, hang out with some of them, like, doing after church or whatever, or spend the night with some of my church friends or whatever, like that too. But church was a core piece to like who we are as a family. We didn't grow up with televisions, which I know some people are like, well, how did you even do that? How did you grow up with television? For me, at the time, growing up without a television, like a physical television with cable on it, like it really didn't bother me. Like I went to my grandma's house to like watch the soap operas like God and Light and stuff for her like that. But I was never like really like a big TV person anyway. Like I was always liking to be outside. I was always liking to be active and doing stuff. So I didn't really care about the TV situation. So we had like monitors or whatever that we watched like movies or whatever, movies and stuff like that. But we didn't have like bona fide televisions. But from a religious background, like our religious background was very very like in our lives or whatever, right? And so we learned a lot, you know, from our religious background, that kind of like supported me now as I grow up. Now I'm not as engulfed into my parents' current church background now, but I still take like some of the core pieces of what we believe, and I utilize them in my life, right? So like, for example, like the coreness of prayer and like seeking God when you need like advice and support, and make sure you always putting him first, and you know, making sure you make his name known, let people know who he is, you know, like I still have those core pieces about me, but I focus on modifying that to making sure like I authentically have, you know, spiritual conversations with people when they need to be. I don't consider myself like a religious person. I consider myself a very balanced person in regards to it. But you know, like if you want to have a conversation about religion, I'm all open for it. Just when you get into that whole like, well, you're doing this wrong and you're doing this and blah blah blah, you know, the judgmental piece, I don't have time for that. Because I feel like you can have a conversation with someone from a religious perspective without anger and animosity and all that other crap. I don't get all that other stuff with people. Like the Bible thumper people, get out my face. Go. But anyway, we did grow up in a very spiritual home. I hate the word religious because we weren't like religious people. We were just very spiritual, and like everything we did was centered around God. And even my parents today, like they always give like great advice about like your walk with Christ, and you know, like are you living a great living a decent life, like where's your heart in regards to your spiritual journey with God. Like they're definitely open-minded people, that if you need some type of spiritual guidance, they'll definitely be there for you. Even down to like praying. Y'all, let me tell you something. I remember my last breakup. Oh my gosh. It was my last breakup that I had back last year, like in was that March? Like March or whatever. And it was, my grandma had just died, and then I just got out of a relationship. No, was it last year? Yeah, it was last year. Yeah, my grandma passed away in January. Then I was in a relationship and I got broken up in March or something like that. And I remember going home. Like I don't remember why I went home. Oh yeah, my grandfather had passed away. My grandfather had literally passed away. So I lost my grandmother, then I was in a relationship that ended, then my grandfather passed away, and like I'll never forget, I was sitting on the couch. I was consumed in so much stress, y'all. Like my body, my mind, I was in turmoil. Like I can't even explain the massive amount of turmoil I was just in my body. And my mom was sitting on the couch and my dad was standing up, and I literally like launched into my mom's lap, and I was like in tears. Like y'all, I was like sobbing. Like I can't explain, like I'm one of those persons, like I can hold a lot of stuff in, but once my buildup hits to the point I can no longer hold it, I have to let it all out. Like I had a mental breakdown in front of my parents, so my mom and my daddy prayed for me. Like I was just like, y'all, I can't tell you, I haven't had one of those kind of breakdowns, I think, since college. Like it was just the worst. Like my mom, poor shirt, she had a cute little shirt or whatever. I had so much snot, spit, tears. Like her shirt was so consumed. And so when I finally got up, sneezing her shirt, I'm so sorry, but she said, no, you fine. And I just remember like my mom and daddy praying for me, and like their prayers just calmed my spirit. Like it just really calmed me in a way, because I was just all over the place. Like I just could not grasp like what was happening in my life. I just could not grasp it. And I just was breaking down. Like I was just mentally breaking down. And I'm a very strong-minded individual, but like when I have emotional attachments to people and those emotional attachments go away, like it breaks me down to my core sometimes. For people that are close to me, it breaks me down to my core. So that was like a very hard time in my life. So I will say, like, definitely, if you need a good prayer, if you need someone to pray for you, my mom and daddy are the people that will definitely pray for you, okay? So, back to my spiritual journey, my spiritual life as growing up as a kid. So again, we went to church like every Sunday. We went to Bible study. I can't remember if we did vacation Bible school, but I used to go to my grandmother's vacation Bible school growing up as a kid, which was awesome and fun. It was like at their little local church. So my grandma and my grandfather would pick me up for the vacation Bible school, and I would go there as a kid for vacation Bible school, which I loved it. It was like a great experience, right? And it was kind of like fun because I felt like, yeah, in my mind, in the vain part of me, I was like, oh, I know more than these kids. So, you know, like, the instructor would be like, oh, did you know this Bible verse? I was like, oh, I know it, blah, 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 blah. And they would look like, oh. You know, it's like, I had, you know, but my parents were very, like, in tune, religious, you know, spiritually. And so, like, we had to learn a lot growing up. Like, it wasn't a game, we didn't play no games. Like, my parents made sure, like, you knew your Bible verses, like, you knew the Lord's Prayer entirely, you're not missing no words. Because people say the Lord's Prayer and they get to that part, I can't think of the part off the top of my head, but they get to the little part where, you know, everybody's voice start to go low, you know. So, basically, they make sure, like, you learn the Lord's Prayer, like, you know your grace, like, things that you should pray for. So my parents were very like big on that. Like they didn't play no games, right? And then we had this thing called Bible quiz. Oh my gosh. When I tell you I hated vacation, I hated Bible quiz. I just wasn't smart enough for it. Like I learned a lot, but retaining all the information, I was like, oh gosh, I just can't do this. This is too much, like way too much. But a lot of the kids were like really good at it. I just wasn't good at it. So my parents had forced me to go to Bible quiz. I did it for like a year and a half. I was like, oh, I can't do this. It's too much. So I had to do that. But I'm gonna call my parents because I just want to get their input to see what they say. I'm just so curious to see what my parents says about me growing up. So we're gonna call them, y'all. I have them like right on my phone. So I'm gonna call my parents first and see what they say. I'm gonna put them on speakerphone. This is about to be hilarious. So basically, I'm just gonna ask them like, how was I as a kid growing up? See what they say. All right, hold on. I'm kind of nervous because I don't know what the hell they're gonna say.
Hello?
Hey, Mama.
Hey.
Oh, what you doing?
Talking to Paul.
Oh, you're talking to your favorite son of all sons.
Oh, what do you want?
Well, Mom, I have a question.
No.
Mom, I got a question.
No.
Please.
What do you want?
Okay, I want to know, I want you to tell me, how was I growing up as a kid?
How many years do you have to listen? Do you really want to start this conversation tonight? You don't want to wait till in the morning so we can finish tomorrow night.
No, well, give me your overall view. How was I as a child? I have my own perception of it, but what is your perception of me?
What age group you want to, what age we talking about in here?
So we're going to start from, let's start from 2 to about 6.
Wow. I don't think there's enough words in the dictionary to describe that age group for you.
Okay, well, give me your best shot.
They're very energetic.
Okay, energetic, okay.
Because that's the kindest word I can come up with right now. Very cunning.
Cunting, okay, okay.
Wise. Could figure his way out about anything.
Okay.
When you had something in your mind, it was going to get done.
Currently, so I'm still the same way.
Yes, you still, yes. A go-getter.
Okay.
A very motivated, high-minded individual.
Okay, motivated, high-minded, I can accept that.
Targeted, you target what you want to do and you go and get it.
Boom, okay.
Selfish to the good side, maybe.
Okay, I can accept that.
Okay, I'll give some room there, okay? Want to be the tic-tac in charge. Gotta be right person.
Okay.
If you know what you're doing, okay?
Perfect, that sounds like me.
You are a vision person.
Okay, vision person. Okay. Wait. Okay, we gotta stick to 2 to 6. I appreciate it, but 2 to 6, like, do you still feel like I was those things at that age?
Yeah, all those things. That's the kind of way you is today.
Okay.
Yes, 2 to 6. Yes. All that started back there. That's why you are today, where you are today.
Well, thank you, Mom, for talking so highly of me. I thought you was gonna talk bad about me.
No, I'm listen. When you was 2 years old, and I told you not to get out that crib, you smiled at me, and when I walked out of the room, you got out the crib. I don't know how you did it, but you did. I caught you several times trying to climb down around the top, and you could never get out. But anyway, you did, because that was in your mind. You wanted to get out of that crib. Okay?
Well, obviously I didn't like the crib.
Yeah, you understand? Back then, you started when you was little.
Well, I mean, I understand. Okay, I get your point. I do accept. I understand what you're saying. So what about from 7 to 10?
Hard-headedness.
Yeah, but you know what? I didn't get a lot of beatings growing. Well, I don't think I got a lot of beatings around that time. I did get like beatings, but not like a lot.
Listen to me. I couldn't beat you because I would tell you, don't do X, Y, and Z like this. Well, you didn't do X, Y, and Z like this. You did X, Y, and Z like that. When you made yourself justified, well, I didn't do that, Mommy. You said you don't do that. I didn't do that, Mommy. But you could do what you want to do. Okay? I had to take into consideration, okay, you did tell him, do not go out the front door of the house. So what you do, you went out the back door of the house. Okay? I told you, Paul, don't throw at the birds, Paul. So what'd you do? You ran after the birds, Paul. You almost caught one, Paul.
I do remember you guys telling me I did almost caught a bird.
I didn't, Mommy, I didn't. So, what can I say? You just around about the individual. If I tell you to go left, you just went around the right and got it done. Okay?
But I told
How
you.
could I beat your butt? You didn't deliberately disobey me on one side of the scale.
Correct.
You know, but you didn't disobey me on one side of the scale. So, okay, I just threw my hands up and said, okay, I've got to watch what I tell him. You know, I got to be careful and choose my words and tell him in detail.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what would you say from 12 to 16? Or 18? 12 to 16, 12 to 18.
Well, about this time, Paul Fowler, you had already set your directions with the help of the good Lord. And you were just determined that anybody with any negativity was not going to hinder you. You're just not going to listen. You're going to cut yourself off from them.
Yeah.
But you knew that this is where I wanted to go, and this is how I have to get there. So either people are going to help you get there, or you will leave them alone.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you still spoke to them and was in good favor with them and everything, but you didn't let that stop you.
Right.
Sometimes it aggravates you, but then it just made you push harder.
I agree. No, that I do.
You had already had yourself structured and where you wanted to go, and you were going to get there. You knew just what you had to take through school, and things you had to be in, you know, what you had to do, what you had to learn, how you had to get it. And guess what? You did it. With the help of good Lord and good teachers and good friends and support.
Mm-hmm.
Just whatever you want to do, like being Mr. King Street Elementary.
I literally talked about that.
You know, Paul, why would you want to be Mr. Kingston Elementary? No. What are you going to do, Paul? What are you going to do, Paul? You don't have any experience, Paul. You don't have any talent.
Oh gosh, that's so funny.
I'm telling you, your dad is saying, boy, go ahead. And then I'm here at the last minute find this thing to go in your neck, this bow tie. Then your brother coming and putting his shirt on you and trying to da. And guess what? You win.
Correct. That is right. I do remember that.
Sheer determination. I mean, nobody was going to stop you.
But I ended up winning. We ended up winning.
You did. You ended up winning.
We ended up winning.
Kingston Elementary School.
We did.
You know, that was his poem. Whatever you wanted to do, wow, you just, okay. Mom, just surrender because I'm going to do this. Okay?
Right. Well, I appreciate you allowing me to do those things.
So right now?
I said I appreciate you supporting me and allowing me to do those things.
Well, Paul, that was fine, but I didn't feel that I had the time to give you what you needed doing all this stuff you wanted to do. You were just a child that just had so much on his plate all the time.
Yeah.
So you never gave it a rest, Paul Fowler. You never did.
I never did. Right, that's true.
As soon as we get through, one thing you hear is something else and something else and something else. You know, you was just too much. You remember when you was little how Cody, Daddy built that fence to keep you in? Daddy Cody said, no, he just too much. He just too much. I said, well, Cody, you know, he gets spat out a while. He's just a child. You know, he said, I'm going to put a fence and put him in there, and we can watch him in the daytime. And I said, Daddy, don't waste your time, because if he wants to get out of that fence, he's going to get out of that fence. And all he just built and put that wire on the fence. And as soon as he got it done, he let you in out there, and then you disappeared.
Yeah, I've been told that story several times.
Down kid has a kid said, y'all looking for a little boy? And everybody started screaming and running. Kristen, oh, that's not Paul, because Paul is right there. Paul was not in that fence. Paul had gotten out of that fence, so he just took the fence down and was through with it.
That is so funny.
He always just that kind of individual. Always kept us busy.
And I still keep y'all. Well, I don't keep y'all as busy as now, but I do stay busy.
Yes. And I'm glad you on your part of the coast and on mine.
Okay.
I love it. God is so good.
Oh goodness. Oh my goodness.
He's just so righteous and merciful.
Oh.
Your dad. But yeah, Paul, you've always been a very energetic young man, very sensitive, very ambitious. I mean, you know, it's just like, wow. Amazing.
Well, thank you, Mom. I wanted to give you a call to get your input, so I appreciate it. I will call you a little bit later.
All right, love you, bye.
I love you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So you guys, you heard it from my mom's mouth how I was as a kid. My dad, I think he's sleeping. But let me try. Oh, you know what? Let's try to call my brother. I'm gonna try to call my brother. He don't never answer the phone, but we're gonna try to call him and see what he say. And this will be the last person I call. I promise. I want to get his input to see if he answers. He might be busy because he works on Sundays, I think. So if he don't answer, we'll try to get him next round.
I apologize, but
yeah, he at work. But anyway, guys, I'm glad you guys had the opportunity to talk to my mom about my life growing up. So you got a little input about me. Thank God she kept it PG, because she could have been like, you was this, you was that, you was this, you was that. But other than that, you know, my mom and my dad were very supportive. And my brother, y'all, me and my brother, we were close, growing up, but my brother was already out the house by the time, I was, 12? I think 12. My brother was going to college at the time anyway. So we didn't really, we had a couple of years together, but we didn't have that many years together. But I love my brother dearly. I love my nephews and my nieces, and my sister-in-law and my sister. You know, that's all for another video because I've already talked y'all head off for literally an hour. But I just want to talk about my life as a kid. Like, I just kind of want you guys to get some a little bit of insight of me just like growing up as a kid. But I had a pretty good life. The other side of my life, I'll save for a later video as we get to know each other. So, yeah, I had a really pretty decent childhood. Like, a really pretty decent childhood. So I wasn't like, also too, like, so after I graduated from high school, I think I graduated like the top like 7 or 8 of my class. I think it was like 7 or 8 when I graduated out of like, I don't know if we had like 166 kids in my class or whatever, but we were in a large class. I ended up going to college, you guys. I ended up going to this 2-year college first. And then I ended up going to a 4-year college afterwards. But I ended up graduating 2 colleges in 3 years because I was so determined to get out of college. So guys, yes, I ended up graduating college 3 years, in 3 years rather than 4. Because I was just like so determined to get out of college like so early. Like I really was. I was just kind of just over it. But I remember my first year of college, I did 1 year in the dormitory and I absolutely hated it. Like, it was like the worst experience ever. And so I ended up getting my own apartment, so I ended up having like 4 jobs. I worked at like Express, I worked at Goodies, I worked at The Guest, and then I ended up like selling knives at the time too. So I ended up getting my own apartment in Spartanburg, so my friends who were staying in the dormitory would come over and visit me at my apartment so they can come, you know, cook their food, wash their clothes and stuff like that. But I had got this apartment in Spartanburg. It was my first 1-bedroom apartment ever in my entire life. Like, I paid my rent like for the entire year because I didn't, you know, would have to deal with like, you know, paying rent or whatever. So I ended up staying there for like 2 years, I think. I ended up staying 2 years because when I finished my 2-year school, I ended up going over to my 4-year school, which was USC Upstate. So I went to school there. I wasn't really like involved on campus because I was one of those kids that was like, I don't want to do stuff on campus. Like, I was just kind of like, not my thing. So I ended up just working because I wanted to stack my coins because I knew that I was going to finish school early. But back to my old 2-year school, I did party a lot, y'all. Like, me and my friends, like, we would go out on a Tuesday night from like Tuesday night from Spartanburg all the way to Charlotte. Like, we would drive like the hour and 30 minutes. And then we would party all night. Then we would drive back like right in time for class. Like, we would take a shower and literally go to class. Like on some Red Bull, just looking at the teacher like, and the teacher would be like, you fall asleep, I'm putting your behind out of my class. And like, you would be fighting it too. You'd be like, and as soon as class over, you'd be like, knocked out, like knocked out. So I do remember those days. Like, y'all, we had so much fun. Like, I just, gosh, I had fun. I did have fun. I was wild, but I had a lot of fun. And then I had some other friends where we would go to Atlanta, like on Friday night. Like, we would drive the 2 hours from Greenville to Atlanta, because only 2 hours from Greenville to Atlanta. We would drive the 2 hours to Atlanta, go party all night. And then we was young. Like, at the time, we wouldn't think about no hotel. We was like, we can go party and then we can drive right back. We would literally go party, I think, from like midnight all the way to like 5 a.m., hit the road and get back home to like 7. We would sleep like literally all day. Like, all Saturday we would sleep. But I will say we would get up on church on Sunday, you know, go to church on Sunday, so that was always a good thing. So I did that. I used to party in Memphis. I mean, like, we used to go all over. Then I ended up getting a job at the bank. So I ended up getting, once I graduated college, I ended up getting a job at the bank. And then I made some really good family and friends that I still talk to today. And after that, I ended up working for a collection agent company, which I absolutely hate that job. And luckily, I ended up moving to DC a couple of months later. But I'm going to tell y'all my full college experience at some point. At some point, I'm going to tell you guys about it because I was absolutely wild. But we'll save that for another video for another day, okay? I can't share everything about Vaughn all in a 1-hour video. I need more time. So anyway, guys, I just want to first of all, I want to just thank you guys for watching this video. I know that it was 1 hour long. I really appreciate it. But sponsors call. I just want to make sure, I just really want to appreciate you guys just for taking the time to watch the video. Because again, you guys could have been doing anything else, but you took the time to sit down and watch my 1 hour video. Trust me, it will not be many more of these. I don't like 1 hour videos, but again, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Okay? So anyway, guys, make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe, and also make sure you click that bell. But finally, also, I do want to leave you with a couple of announcements. In the next couple of months, we are in the process of doing giveaways. So make sure you look out for that. We'll post it on all of our social media. So we'll be giving out like data and gift cards. We might be giving out laptops and cell phones. Like, you never know. So make sure you are following all of our social media links. Make sure you're commenting, you're subscribed. Make sure you click that bell for the notifications, and you might be a winner. You never know, you might be a winner. That's the first thing. The second thing I will say is that we are also in the process of giving out shout outs. So again, you gotta make sure that you're liking the page, you're liking the comments, you're commenting, sending emails, just kind of giving us an update on how you like the show, what you don't like about the show. I mean, we want you to make sure you you're following all of our social media handles as well, because we want to make sure that we give shout outs to our diehard fans. You have to be a fan. We have some really diehard fans that rock with us, and we also in the process of working on merch. I know the summer's coming, but we're gonna work on a fall merch, some really dope hoodies. So be on the lookout for that as well too. So when we do the shout outs, we're gonna put your shout outs on the video, so you might be a winner. So we'll just take your IG handle or your Facebook handle, whatever you prefer, and we'll post you to our video, which is be so exciting because you'll be always a memory piece to the show. So that's always exciting too. So, and finally, drum roll please. Finally, we have gotten to the point where we are in the process of taking a potential fan with us on vacation to film the show. Yes, we have finally worked out the logistics on how we can do that. So make sure you guys look for that coming down the pipeline. There is nothing like having the opportunity to hang out with me, hang out with members of the show that travel with us, to embark on this incredible journey to come and travel with us to different countries, right? You'll have the opportunity to take a free vacation with us. Your flight is covered, your housing, your hotel accommodation is covered, and even your food is covered, and your transportation. Literally 8 days, because normally when we go to different countries or whatever, we try to go 8, 9, or 10 days. So we can definitely take our time, film and stuff like that, and you'll be a part of the experience. It's something to be said to be part of an experience with the Vaugh Show, because when we go out, we have a great time. We have a video coming down the pipeline in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, where we met these two guys, and they literally took us on a local food tour, and we had an amazing time. So make sure you guys look out for that video. It's coming down the pipeline, and basically we talk about how we spend only $20 in Ugandan shillings on all the amazing food that we bought. So make sure you check that out too. Also on our Facebook, we do post opportunities, job opportunities, because we always want to give back to the communities that we embark on. So we did post something on our Facebook channel discussing Kenya, so make sure you guys check that out. If you live in Nairobi, Kenya, or if you live in Mombasa, near Diana Beach, let us know, and we'll definitely see if we can work out something, okay? Alright guys, that's my time. Thank you guys for watching my video. You guys have been awesome, amazing. Stay safe, be blessed, and I will see you guys on my next video. Take care. Mwah.